Hello, everybody. My name is Melanie Kieran, and I will be your instructor for this course. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time walking you through some critical things that are going to help you be successful in the class. So I'm going to be sharing my screen, and it's going to take just a couple minutes to go through a couple really important items. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns, I'll give you that contact information that you can follow up with me as well. All right, so let me just share. All right. So I call this the must-knows of a hybrid course. So I call it hybrid because we're going to be doing some work synchronously and asynchronously, right? So there's going to be some weeks so we don't get together and we don't meet, and you're going to be kind of working on your own. And then there will be times that we're going to be meeting. So all of that information will be shared with you, and you'll be able to plan your life accordingly. But who am I? So if you haven't had a class with me yet, my name is Melanie Kieran. I am one of the full-time faculty members in our Career Technical Teacher Education Department, CTTE. I work with a lot of the undergrads, but I also have some grad programs. And so yeah, so I normally get to meet every one of our students throughout their cycle with us. My email is mkieran@kent.edu. It's everywhere. And that is the best way to get in contact with me, to go right to Outlook and send me an email. I carry it with me on my phone, so I'm pretty quick to get back to you. In case of emergencies, you can use my cell phone, but make sure it's an emergency. Try emailing me first. In office hours, because we're in a virtual environment for spring, those are by appointment. The picture there is my crazy family. And just like you guys have busy lives, I also have some craziness going on in my house, especially with that little girl right now who has me going to practices every which way. So so that's my contact information. That I'll show you too on Canvas where you can find that. Some things that I really wanted to make sure that we covered before we get too far into the class is I've got it laid out here for you, your syllabus, and I will show you where to find that. The big thing is print that out. I try to be very detailed oriented, so follow it. Announcements are going to happen every week. I will show you again where those are located. Please read those. Sometimes those will include like feedback from assignments and things of that nature. So I'll go into that in detail in a little bit. Assignments, do them on time. So assignments, they're part of your learning, and so is the feedback that I give you, so make sure you're checking that out. Then we'll talk about the Canvas app and the resource website. Writing standards, just follow them, and then virtual meetings and collaboration, attend them, and feel free to collaborate with your peers. So announcements. So every week I will be sending a weekly announcement, and it's like real time. It's things that I'm seeing in terms of your coursework or an assignment that's coming up that just kind of reinforce some ideas. Sometimes I'll take a lot of different ideas, put them together in a video just like this, so that I can really hit home and give you collective feedback. So I'm going to toggle over to the dashboard. So this is Canvas. If you're not familiar, you will have different classes up here. Don't worry about the other stuff that you see here, but we're going to go into our course, and I'm going to log in as a student. All right, so when you come in, you'll see recent announcements right here, right? So it'll tag the top 3 announcements that I have. You can also, when I have an announcement in there, you'll see a little announcement button here. You can click on that. There's nothing right now. I should have thrown one in there. Sorry about that. Also, oops, sugar. Hold on, let me get out of that. When you have an announcement, you'll have like a little bell right here that shows you. So again, why am I kind of hitting this? You got it right, announcements, yeah. I don't want you to miss anything. And because we don't see each other every week, I don't want you to not read those, not be in the know for those, okay? So super important, all right? So that's announcements. Check it off the list. Just make sure that you're really checking on that. All right. Let's talk about modules. So modules is where the content of the course is it has housed, right? And then assignments are housed in assignments. So let's go back there. So I'm back in the class. And let me go back to student view. And so you'll see modules right here. All right. So the first module that you'll tackle is a Start Here module, right? And it goes through all kinds of just kind of introductory stuff. Because you guys are focused, so many of you are focused on CBI, I've actually gone out and tried to give you some additional resources. So those are there. When we have virtual meetings, all of that information will be housed here in virtual meetings, info, and exit tickets. Mentoring resources, again, I'm going to overload you with some extra resources. I don't want you having to hunt for some of those things, so I've given those to you there. And then you can see it's week by week. So we have 15 weeks of class, and each week is laid out here for you. If I go into week 1, it'll say week 1, welcome. Here's the big idea, the dates around it, do this, or some assignments, right? So week 1's an easy way to start out. You're actually doing it, right? You found it. Then you see week 2, we get a lot more information. The dates, the big idea, things to know. All the resources are in here. Now, I'm talking to professional teachers in this class, so you need to use your time wisely. I'm going to put all the information out there for you to consume. And if you feel like, yeah, you've already know, you've been working in special ed for like 20 years, and so you're gonna, just gonna go through and skim the information. If this is newer information, then you are going to spend more time. All right. And then you can see where the assignments are listed here, but it's just kind of a weekly reminder. Here's what I'm expecting you to consume. This is what you're expected to work on. And then the assignments are going to be up here. And you can show by type or date. Yeah, I like to see them by type, but that's okay. But you can see how you can toggle. So exit tickets are in one bucket, assignments are in another, and discussion boards are in another. But just so you don't screw up, I would maybe do it that way too, so that you can see everything in the order in which they are due. Okay. All right. So let me toggle out of that. So let's talk about assignments. Assignments are due by midnight on the deadline. So if it's, a Friday night or Friday due date, then be midnight. And a lot of times I really will get up on Saturday morning and start grading them because I'm most likely at sitting by a pool for Rachel's diving or a gymnastics something or other. There's some kind of practice. So I do grade on the weekends. So we're all professionals. So there is a professional standard. And I know sometimes in education, this kinds of flip-flops about the value of deadlines, but I'm still a believer in them. So that's the value we're going with. It's going to be a 10% daily deduction every day, right? For late work up until 3 days. After 3 days, it's a no-go. I'm not giving you any points. I will give you feedback because I will read everything that you guys submit. But please know, like if you turn something in, 8 days later, it's going to be a 0. But I will give you feedback on it, okay? If there is an issue, because we're all adults, right? We have aging parents, we have children, we have our own life issues, we have our own sicknesses, right? So all you have to do is shoot me an email and say, hey, I'm not going to meet this deadline. Here's what's going on in my life. And I'm going to say, I'm really sorry to hear that. Let me know, and we'll work something out. But I'm expecting that to be like critical issue things, like not, I overslept, right? Like we're all working adults. So let's have a high standard, and then I don't have an issue with that, all right? But it can't happen like 3 weeks after the fact. I just can't. That's not fair. So all I have to do, again, shoot me a quick email. Like I don't expect you to be in the hospital room shooting me an email. That's not. But if you get the sniffles and or tummy ache, shoot me an email. Okay, not hard to do. And then we work things out. I'm very reasonable. But I will seem unreasonable if I give you a 0 because you didn't tell me what's going on. Okay. All right, let's talk about the Canvas app. Right, so the Canvas app, a lot of my students don't know this, and I'm not sure why, but it's a free app, and you just, go to Google Play or wherever you get your apps, and I'm going to try to show you. That's the icon here over here, and then this is what it looks like. And why do I like the app? So the app is not necessarily for you to like submit work, although you can, but it's not real great about that. The app really is to help you to stay on track. It'll look very much like the dashboard, and what's really nice is it will, trying to get that in the view, it'll give you a to-do list, and then it'll have a calendar. Like, so we're on break, so there's nothing going on in there yet. But like when you see that little red light next to it on your phone, you're like, oh stink, I got to turn something in. It really is very helpful for students. So download it, it's free, easy to use. Okay. All right. Writing standards. So admittedly, I've been a little lax on this with a lot of the courses I've been teaching, but I really want to get back at having a high level of written work with students. So the expectation is that you write in APA 7 style for written assignments. And for some of you, you've been out of school for a while and that's really challenging. I have resources for that. Now, will I take off points if you italicize a word or don't proper case it because of APA? No, I'm not gonna be that nitpicky, but there's some basic stuff that we can do, right? So it's included in the syllabus itself, but also let me show you here. So we have this CTTE resource website. And then oh, sugar. Let me see if I can minimize that a little bit. There we go. All right. So this website URL, which is tinyurl.com CTTE. Remember, there's 2 T's because we're teacher educator resources. I'm going to talk about it all the time. It's going to be in my emails. It's going to be on the Canvas. It's going to be everywhere, just because it's pretty good information. And I can answer everybody's question from the get-go, right? So one of the things we have out here is KSU services. So Kent State has some services, and then also I've gone out and found services to help you if you struggle in communication. So one of the things is the APA style guide. So if you click on that and you go to, let's see, tip sheet, this is the best one. I have printed out, I have it next to me, like when I have to submit work, things of that nature, this is what I would recommend right there, okay? And then there are also some other resources there. So you have to, how to avoid plagiarism. There's some AI support tools there, creating effective presentations. I think you're going to be amazing at it, but just in case, those resources are there. Other resources there, counseling, student support, enrollment, accessibility. So if you are an individual who requires a IEP at a college level, this is where you would go, student accessibility services. So all of that information is there. In addition, my favorite part of the website is the CTE resources. So this is where I go out and I scour good stuff for CTE teachers, and this is all free for you to use, and I updated it a lot, quite a bit. And then since I'm here, the last thing I will tell you is on the home page, I send out every other week on a Friday. It's an email newsletter. Things in there be like reminders for registering for classes. But then here's a cool event for CBI teachers. Here's some best practices for getting ready for the holidays and classroom management. You can actually go out and look at previous email newsletters, so they're all here for the most part. So the last one I wrote was for grant writing. So if you're interested in that, please sign up, put your preferred email address, and I always say your school email address, not your Kent one, because even after you graduate from Kent, I'm still going to send it to you if you want to. Okay. So, all right. So that's the CTE resource website and the writing supports there. We're almost done. All right, collaboration. Yes, you are encouraged to do it. Of course, your ideas are your own, but please do not feel like you cannot collaborate with your peers, right? We are all in this together, especially this kind of class where you bring in such a wealth of content and experiences. Please collaborate. So you are highly recommend that you do that. And on our, so I'm going to show you a couple places how to find people. So there's a people's tab, right? So right here is who's registered for the class so far. It'll change, it'll add, people will drop because we haven't started. And then in addition, I will be putting people's email addresses so that you can email them directly. And we have a module here called Colleague Connections. Oh, do I not have it published yet? Hold on one second. Sorry about that. All right, so we have Colleague Connection. And you actually have editing rights to this as a student. You can go in here and add things. So really what I'm trying to do is get you to share things that are important to you, right? Whether that's resources or strategies that are working, anything like that, you're allowed to post here. As I'm grading and giving feedback on written assignments, I will ask you in the comment section, hey, do you mind if I share this? And if you say yes, I will post it in here as well. So, and then the last thing that I first will say for right now is that there will be a Google Sheet with everybody's name and their email addresses at Kent. Because you will be working in teams. It's meaningful work, it's not busy work. And so I just try to help facilitate that connection point there. Okay, so I'm just going through my list. Announcements, check, right? We're going to look at those. Modules, yep, we got it. Assignments, everybody's going to do it on time or let me know what's going on. Canvas app, you're going to download it. Writing standards, you're going to do your best. Virtual meetings, you're going to show up. So virtual meetings, I believe we've got 5 scheduled throughout the semester. They're all in the syllabus. You are expected to attend. They go 4:25 to 7 o'clock, except for the first one, which will be a little bit shorter. And that last one is scheduled in May, but we may not need it. So, but it's mine if I need it, okay? So what happens if you have something going on? Okay, so there are excused absences and then there are unexcused absence. So if you're gonna have an excused absence, you need to email me and then we need to have a conversation and I will determine if it's excused. An example of an excused absence is you've got parent-teacher conferences at night. I get it, you cannot miss it. So you will then be exempt from that exit ticket. So every virtual class meeting we have an exit ticket. They are like free 10 points for giving me feedback. And so you do your exit ticket, I gave you 10 points. If you have an unexcused absence, like you want to go to the Browns game, I want to go to the Browns game too, but I can't because we have class. So that would be 0 out of 10. Is it going to hurt you? Not if you do things really well in the class. You should have your A, right? But it does force us to come to class to collaborate and to learn from each other. The other thing why I don't feel too bad about it is at the end of the semester, there is a 5 bonus point opportunity for you for doing the course eval, and I'll talk about that as we get closer towards the end. But essentially, virtual meetings, be there, be on time. All you have to do is, find a cozy space in your classroom. I get it. You might have kids running around. I get it. It's okay. But we want to be dialed in and do our very best. All right. And then collaboration check and CTTE resource website. All right, so this was a long video, but I hope it was beneficial to you. You're going to email me if you have any questions, and I look forward to working with you throughout this course. All right, have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you.